Well, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Flying with Mike. Surprised. Yeah, thankfully, my employer gave me the day off. Thank you so much. I sure appreciate that. To celebrate the 4th. And that and the fact most of our customers aren't working today as well, so we don't need as many drivers on the road. But I am really thankful I got the day off. So again, thank you. Now, on to today's stream. Today we're flying for simulated Air Force. And that just reminded me of something I forgot to do. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. All right, get that all set up right. So when the timer goes off, it puts some Air Force's info up there. But yeah, we are flying for simulated Air Force, and we are not flying Air Force One. Much chagrin. People think this is. It is not. It is sort of, kind of, maybe. We'll put it that way. The E4A model of the Doomsday plane. What that means is back in the days of the Cold War, these aircraft were flying command posts. Basically, there in case the unexpected happened, being a nuclear launch from whatever country. But back in the Cold War, it was assumed and most likely would come out of the Soviet Union. Today, because many of you go, where? That's Russia. And a few other states. But Russia is the #1 king. That was the Soviet Union. The communists, you may also know it as. So these aircraft were airborne. Now, why I said sort of, kind of, maybe, is there is an add-on out there. Okay, you get the paint job, but you can also, through Plane Maker, which I don't like using personally. It's a great tool, don't get me wrong. I've used it one other time. Or I should say one time, to get one aircraft set up, excuse me, to fly with the GPS that didn't come with it. Matter of fact, I think when it first came out, there was no GPS or FMS. So, with the help of Hawker 125, which was online last night in our last stream, we walked through and got it set up. But that's it. I'm not gonna, why mess with something that's not really broke? The only thing really missing, there's a hump back here, nose or air refuel, or is the hump here? One of the two places. And air refueling and a few antennas. Other than that, you're looking at it. So I thought, you know what? If that's all I'm adding, looks pretty doggone good to me. So that's what we're doing. So anyway, we're where we left off with Simulated Air Force last month. Hill Air Force Base, north of Salt Lake City. Town's called Ogden, for those curious. We are going to embark on a 3rd of July, and I normally don't put a date on it, but it is the 3rd of July. The 4th of July Eve. We're going to head to Offutt, where they were stationed and still are to this day. We still fly them. We still have them there. And they still can do. Basically, they were the command structure in the unlikely event that a nuclear missile or missiles were targeted on us. And they would then go and do what they had to do if um, command structures in Washington were not available. Not the best plane, cool plane to be on from the outside, but I don't think I wanted to be on it in the inside. Just something tells me. Except maybe up in the cockpit's a little bit removed from it all. So, and that's where we're headed. Up to the cockpit again. Hill Air Force Base, Offutt Air Force Base, Hill in Utah, Offutt in Nebraska, just south of Omaha. All right, now we do have the ground power hooked up. We do have the air hooked up for now. We have not started the APU. We haven't done a lot of the checklist yet. So we're going to go through it. And yes, for those that always wonder, are you going to use those default ones or what was on the plane? We're not going to use the SIVAs if that's what you're wanting. They are, no, sorry. But we will use the LTNs. And contrary to some people's opinion, yes, you can fly RNAV approaches, not RNIP, RNAV. Difference being you have a closer threshold on your acuity with your alignments, and of course the vertical and all of that, which was not available to the LTN. So we'll handle the lateral, well, it'll handle the lateral, we'll handle the vertical, and yes, you can fly it on an RNAV approach. SIVA, unless you can find the coordinates for all of those fixes, no. You have to stick to the standard ILS or TACAN VOR and sleepy approach. But anyway, I think we're ready. So I hope the last stream y'all enjoyed. It should be out on YouTube for those that were there on YouTube to watch. It was fun. That was a really fun flight. So I really do hope you head over to YouTube and check it out. It'll be, oh, wait a minute. I got something going on here. Whoop. Forgot to finish my, what I was doing here. Sorry, folks. Getting online. My bad. Whoa, wrong key. There we go. Now, the E4 does fly under the 742 identifier for your call signs. All right, 6064. Let's go ahead, drop down here, put that in, because as you all know, I am very good at forgetting. Okay. 60. Okay, we're on expounder. We've got that on standby. We'll come back, get more in depth a little bit on this, but let's get started, shall we? All right, so we got a lot to do here in a short amount of time. So we're just going to kind of walk it through. Y'all get to see it. APU panel up here, upper left. Do a squib check and your favorite sounds. Although one, how dare you say, oh, we'd prefer it in flight. Yeah, no. I do have something I could do for that, but no. I don't think the humor would come through. Okay, Gasper's on. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're set. Ready to go. Another squib check. Now, one thing, this is your main fire warning section. Now the T-handles are above the pilots. However, I find it better to test. Okay, hang on. This way, looking towards the T-handles because it's a little easier. Okay, and then a little further over, now we're going to be watching these. All right, we're good. Okay, now we'll just pop back. Anywhere where it says test, if you're going to use the checklist that comes in a moment, we'll show you the EFB. You'll get a better idea of what I'm talking about. It will flag when you didn't do something. Okay, landing gear check. All right, now we're going to check the gear doors. These two are open already. All right, coming down, we have a test here and a test here. Press to read. And that is all there is here. Now, let's come in just a little. Quantity check, looks good. You can see the needles at the bottom of the screen moving. And let's go ahead and put electric pumps on, even though they'll shut off as soon as we go for the APU. Okay. And that's all you got to do for fuel jettison. I know we have it here. We'll come back to it in a second. Let's get all these checks done real quick. Fuel used. Okay. Push to test. All right, and then we just go through. Now, we have fueled the aircraft, so the APU could be turned on. Just doing a quick function check here. Patience is a little bit needed here because they are, as you can see, you want to hurry, and it doesn't help. Okay, that all looks good. Okay, and we round out here with oil. Let's see, wait a minute. N2 looking good, oil looking good, turned up. And one thing, we'll talk about the radio audio panel in a moment, but let's check the lights on this panel. Okay. Last but not least, let's get to the pilot co-pilot. All right. Now, the other one was your cargo. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is wheel well. Okay, work your way down, off on the auto brake. On, guard down for your anti-skid, guard up, armed for the body gear. The body gear are the set of wheels under the wing fuselage area. They'll actually pivot when you take turns on the taxiway to help with tighter turns and a little less wear and tear on those very expensive tires. Not made of stone. I can tell you that for sure. Firestone did not make them. All right, lights are off. Okay, come down the second row. Now I am going to go ahead, go to align, start the process, and then nav. Oh wait, why won't it let me go? There it goes. Okay, come down real quick. They're good. Come down. We did our check. We'll do our CVR check. Guarded. We'll turn the seatbelts on in a few. And everything looks good coming down. Real quick check. Okay. We don't need the power. And one last light check up here. In the middle, looks good, and down below. Set your lighting the way you want. We will come back to this in a moment. Let's get our alignment done. I'm going to cheat. We're not going to put the coordinates in. We're going to just click quick alignment. And they are aligned. And hang on, I'm just doing it quickly so we can, and I'll show you here in a second. Clear, status aligned. We're going to also hurry up the loading of the flight plan, albeit not many fixes, but we'll go from there. All right. Let me just get a frequency here. ILS, that'll work. Doesn't matter which runway. 109 Niner. We do. Let me check. Is that going to be? Oh, 15.7. That's close enough. Yeah. Okay. All right. So as we go across, set your panel light. Make sure you have it in radio, not INS. Come in. We're going to do an up left. What we're checking is your localizer and glide slope. So up glide slope, left localizer. It's already left, so it won't swing much, but you might see it on the HSI here. And that's your horizontal situation indicator. And welcome aboard, Desktop Pilot of Society. Glad to have you in the house. All right, down, looks good. Everything swung, looks good. Now, I'm going to switch this to Ogden, and we'll put it over here. What did I say it was again? Doggone it. 109.9. Okay, doesn't matter what you have here on the course for that check, by the way. Okay, working across, check your flight director, looks good. We'll worry about the auto throttle later, but we're just concerned that it's off along with the autopilot. We'll worry about headings and course. We just want to make sure the selector is on heading. Vertical speed is zeroed. Now, this is one thing I like, and I hope when and if and ever the 727 comes out with vertical or FJS, they had a great autopilot system. Problem is, you never knew exactly where you sat it. And I don't know if you can pick up on those numbers or not, but yeah, they have numbers. So you can tell 1,000, 500. You see what I'm saying? Makes it a little easier to know, okay, I'm going to be in that ballpark when I set it. So I really like that. Altitude, we'll do a better check on that here in a minute. But for now, I'm just going to set it up to the 5,000. I think we'll be safe there. Not by much. Let's go to 7,000. You'll understand why in a second. Selector is off. Alt hold, alt select off. Flight director checked. Again, make sure you're in radio. We're going to do again the up left on the first officer. Down right. Down right, good. All right, pushing all the way over. Okay, we'll start coming back. We'll check. What's the altimeter here today? We'll get that on the way back. Let's just go over. Well, you know what? Let's do it this way. Okay. All right, time is set. We'll worry about the speeds in a moment. We are going to do a check here that you need to see both. Testing. Okay. Altimeter. This is where I wanted to be. We need 3010. 4,800 feet above sea level. That's why I didn't do 500 or 5,000. I went on up to 7,000. We should get a tone before 5,000. Okay, and a test of the radar altimeter gives us a tone. I screwed up. Hang on. Pushing this master test will put your check above the artificial horizon light up, and then look through, and then we'll come in. Here's that altitude check. Okay, that horn you heard, that is the hang on. Oh, you got to push the button there, Captain. Okay, we'll just set it 6,500. Okay, next one you've never heard on Flying with Mike, so get ready for something new.
Pull up, glide slope, glide slope. Pull up, glide slope, glide slope.
All right, Pinocchio, push the nose in. Yeah, you hear it all the time. And then on the main panel here, right about where my cursor is, you'll see rudder ratio. Okay, everything checks good. Gear down, got a green light moving over. Pull back, because guess what? There's a test button here. Same thing, looks good. Going over. I know it's kind of boring. Everything looks good. Timer walking back. By the way, if you do the test here, it's just a visual, no audio on it. INS updating, we'll explain that once we get going. Through the bottom real good. And down to the radar, time to heat it up. Warm up those CRTs. Most of you, well, no, I won't say most. A lot, though, if you're from this generation, oh yeah, you have no clue. But yeah, there are tubes in there that have to be warmed up for you to see that. So, welcome to the old TVs. Okay, spoilers are in the down position, flaps up. And to verify, inner flaps and outer flaps are there. Throttle check. Okay, parking brake over on the corner here is set. Reversers are closed and the fuel valves are in cutoff. All right, we were going to talk about this real quick. On your X-Pilot, again, always make sure, don't care about the frequencies right now. We want to make sure on COM1, TX, RX are available. Unless you're one of those that say, I'm going to be different and use COM2. Don't know how you do it, but hey, cool. But you got to have at least one of those comms saying TX and RX. Why? Because TX transmit, RX receive, for those that may not know. COM2 or the other one, make sure is in RX, and I highly advise you make sure the volumes are turned up. Why? Because if ATC is trying to get a hold of you somewhere in the world, you better be able to hear them. And that's why I say turn the volumes up, and if they're too loud, you can then adjust. Frequencies, okay, right now we have Unicom and the guard channel. This is where you would hear it. You would not be able to talk back to them. They want to yell at you and they don't want your sass back. Okay, again, repeating transponder, exponder, standby, and we'll move the paddle up for the radar to 5 degrees. And that, folks, is pre-flight for the plane. All right, moving on to the route. Let's head over here. Now, we said we'd come back, but we're going to first bring in VATSIM. Do a quick look at our flight. Isn't that cool? That's our last flight, Hanora. However, we'll start tracking, continue. What airplane do they have, if any? They don't have mine. How dare they? Tail number on this one is 73. There it is, 73167. Okay, you can't see it. So the hump was on the second level, not the main in this area. So looks pretty close to me. That's all that matters. And now we'll go get to our route, and there you have it. Coming out of Ogden, where we are now, over to O'Neill, and maybe, put that in big air quotes, maybe we'll see a storm or two in Omaha. I'm not holding my breath on it, but you never know. All right, we came here for a reason. It's an hour, 42 minutes over at 800 miles, 80 for the cost index. We don't go by that. We'll be Mach 0.82, I believe, is what we set. We'll have, I got to remember. Yeah, I think, 0.85, I believe, 0.85. Cruise level 41,000, and we're going to actually probably do 37 just to be safe. And there's our weights and all. Now, this is kind of subjective. You'll see what I mean. Put it in the back of your mind. Zero fuel weight, that I think we're on 444,300 and some change pounds. The block fuel, we're about 6,000 pounds more on the weight. Going to TCH, OCS, ONL, and into Offutt, runway 13. Okay, now, before we get to this, let's go and load the plane, which kind of already done, minus the people. This aircraft does not hold 262 people as our flight plan calls for, but we'll go ahead and load it. What the heck? I forget what the actual number max is. I know it's 100 something. Anyway, so looking at this, you've got presets for the passenger, which is your upper deck down, and you can see up on the chart where those areas are. Same with the cargo. They're on top, but it's down here on the bottom. And yeah, it will throw you off every now and then. And again, there it is. Okay, now over here, we're 800 miles, so I put 850. There's where I threw the 37,000. We have a 10 knot tailwind. Wind component is P9. Winds averaging at about 318 at 21. So we're going to be pushed, which helps a little bit on fuel mileage. Our alternate is Lincoln at 100 miles. I made it 150. Contingent 10%, taxi fuel 30. So what that's going to leave us, I should have looked, 77,000 or 15 pounds is what's being uplifted. 262 peeps as the flight plan called. There's our weights in CG. You then go to refuel. Just always click the data sheet. We're already fueled. Payload, same thing. Click the load data sheet to load the people. Okay, we're going to do that right now. We're going to actually do this one real world. And since we don't have cargo, that's why we don't have cargo to load. But the people are coming on, 4 people. You would think in the military they would want on the plane because, well, you know, they're kind of drilled. Keep the line moving. Don't just mess it up for everyone, because everyone then pays for your mistake. All right. Hang on a second. I'm getting a couple tools up and running now. Hawker, 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 hawker. Good morning, sir. All right. So an Elevatech is still up. Oh, that's a shame. Let me go back real quick. Revisit again. Here's your weight and balance since we had it covered up. Your cargo you set with your mouse here to your numbers or with the preset. I use the presets and then drill up or down to the number I need for passengers. Over here, we got 853. I know it all sounds repeated. Sorry. 37,000, a 10 knot tailwind, and 150 miles to our alternate. 10% our contingency fuel, taxi 30. So that leaves us, we'll have 77,000 pounds of fuel and the rest of the numbers below. But you can see our zero fuel weight actually is right on. Again, refuel to fuel the plane. Just make sure you always click use load sheet data. Now you have the option to do it real world. Oh, for my random what? Oh, I get a test. Cool. This will be, if you ever watched at an airport, your domestic aircraft that usually fly out about an hour or two from the place. Usually you see them in and out in about an hour. The ones going further, 2, 3, 4 hours, because it takes that long to load the fuel. So anyway, then your payload, which we are now doing, we are in the process of boarding real world style. So 94 have made it on. We're not so sure about the other 200 or so people, but they'll probably find their way on the plane. The meme 4 hours later. Okay. All right, sounds like some fun going on in the chat. Feel free to join in, folks. It's we're just about ready to wrap things up on the ground here. All right, last thing we have to do is put the route in. And there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can use waypoint, put them in. Hang on a second. I'm actually catching up here over here. So I can put them in by waypoint. I can put them in by coordinates, VOR, NDB names. I cannot use a star name or a SID name, a standard terminal arrival route name, or a standard instrument departure name. So those you have to put in all the different fixes for them. You'll have to enter those. All right. Now, one little cheater's way to do this in this airplane. Now, to do that, you would go to waypoint and just start putting them in. This icon, the P, is your current location. So if you're already airborne, you cannot go right back to here. You're wherever that is, it goes from there. All right, so now let's head over here. Told you we're going to take a shortcut. And I got to remember where we are. There we are. There's our flight. So over here, insert at start and select all. So we're going to be there, and they'll be in all of them now. All right, so let's now go look. Okay, there's our airport. That's okay to be there. Waypoint. They're there. Waypoint. All right, now there is no standard instrument departure out of here, which kind of blows my mind away. Well, actually, there are 4. My feeling is I'll bet all 4 do not. Nope, they all end up going west. And we're going east. So that is why we don't have one. We're going straight down to Wasatch and then out over the mountains. Wasatch is just north of Salt Lake International Airport. All right, so that takes care of here. Now let's back up a page. I can't remember. Go back. And go back. Now, the nearest DMEs, we talked about. This is where the INS updating comes in. You got to keep it. Now, on a short hop like this, less than 2 hours, you're not drifting on that INS too much. However, when you go, say, Salt Lake to Hawaii, or Salt Lake maybe all the way over to London, okay, you're going to need to keep them up to date as far as you can. Once you hit that Atlantic or once you hit that Pacific, depending which way you're going, you're not going to find VORs very quickly. So getting it as close as you can prior to losing those signals, that's where this comes in. Likewise, as far out from where you're coming in, it helps to get you back online, back right on course, instead of drifting with that INS, because it has nothing to keep it in line. All right, let's see, what else do we need to do here? We'll talk about checklists. Oh, let's get our performance data in. Click load sheet again. Oh, wow. Let's do that. I forgot about this being in here. All right. We're going 1-4. Right? Yeah. I had to think. So giving you all of that right up front instead of you having to type it in. I like that. That's a good change. We'll set the speeds. So V1's 118, 125, 144. All right. Optimum stab trim will be at 2.8. Initial pitch 17 degrees. And 10,000 feet or higher. Optimum climb speed of 294. We need 6,500 feet of runway. All right, so let's, now we will, oh wait, what did I just do? Stop that. Forgot you can't pull these up that way. If we work our way through at O'Neill, I believe that is. Yeah, O'Neill VOR, we begin a star, the Henry 3 arrival. We'll have to put in not only the fixes for Henry, but then at least the initial, if not maybe one or two, to get us on course for the arrival. We can do that now, which probably is, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, so how do we do this? Let me bring it up first. Now, but we'll show you how to sync it so you don't have to type it out for all three. Hide. This is just one less step we'll have to do. You don't have to worry about any vertical or speed indications on here, just the fixes. So we're going Owens, go here. And then we're going to OLU. Now it gets a little tricky. Got to know your alphabet. Oscar, Lima, uniform. Now, if this is out there somewhere else, it'll tell you. It wasn't. So now we hit enter again. Howery. And by the way, it has been quite a while since I've flown this plane, so this ought to be interesting today. Next up is Boyce, B-O-Y-S-S. Bravo, Oscar, Yankee, Sierra, Sierra. Now, be careful. I is here. This is the number 1. When this says, instead of alpha, it says N as in November, then these, all of those become usable. Enter. All right, hang on a second. Let me go back. Let's see. What do we have for Jambo? Well, let's take a look at it real quick. Jambo. All right, let's go to Jambo and the ILS. All right, so we're going to go ahead, type that in. Okay, hang on. What's going on here? There we go. I know what I did. I'll explain it here in a second. JAM. Oh, whoa, whoa. Clear. Jabmo. Okay. Enter. Now, you could put .te just so that if you're not on the ILS, you've got it. But I'm going to just go here. Call it quits. Okay, so we've got the standard terminal arrival in. We have the initial fix for runway 13's ILS in the box. Okay, now how do we get what we just did over to here? All right, now copying the flight plans to the others. What we're going to do here, we're going to click the RM. You know what? Let me do this. We don't need charts in the way now. What we do need is to try to zoom it and hope it'll stay. Remote. And then we're going to select which is the master and which is the slave. This one will be our master. Okay, 10 waypoints. RMT slave. Enter. And RMT slave. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to click enter. You can see system B, system C, Bravo. The one below us is Charlie. Embrace the FMC. You know, I actually like this system more than the FMC. The only difference between this and the FMC is no vertical navigation. You, the pilot, have to do that. Now let's transmit by hitting enter. It'll tell you when it hits waypoint 10, you're good to go. And I'll prove it when we get there. Crossfill complete. Go to waypoint, waypoint, and let's scroll on down. Now you want to leave the airport identifier there. So just make sure. I'm leaving it up top. When we take off, we're going to basically go direct to TCH, and then it'll pick up the flight plan. Or we may make the turn. We're going to have it dialed in both ways. Oh, yeah, just so you all know. See? In both. There we go. Everything's set, ready to go. Folks, we're ready to go. If I go back now to payload, we should have 262 people on. The cargo bays are, well, they didn't get anything. And there's actually 13 people back there. Okay, and we'll go back to our perform. Okay, let's go to checklist. We're not going to run the before pilot and FE, although I am going to look at it though, and then double check that I have gone through all of those. It takes a little bit. We've already gone pretty long here, so let's just call that. We'll be back in just a second to this. Let me get over to ground. Let's get the APU firing up. Okay, and we're just waiting to see the RPMs at 100%. There we go. Now, close what I call the top half, then you can close the bottom, turn the electric pump back on and go on internal air. Your trim air is on, humidifier on. Last but not least, let's get our pressurization panel set. We're going for now 37, so we'll set it for 38 and 30-10. Okay. Seat belts.
Cockpit to ground. Disconnect ground power.
Ground power disconnected.
Cockpit to ground. Remove the chocks.
All right, here we go.
Chocks removed.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. On behalf of the entire crew, welcome aboard the Boeing 747 Classic. We will depart shortly after we have our clearance and the cabin crew is finished with their preparations. For now, I wish you a pleasant flight, and I will be back during the flight with further flight information.
Let's see how it looks from the tower. Okay. Let's just verify Salt Lake Center online. You had to know they'd be online. Let's check them out. 25575. Responders, standby. Okay. Let me do a quick run like I said. Checklists. Gear, brakes, start levers, radios are on. INS.
Salt Lake Center, Delta 910, ready to taxi. For runway 16 right so far.
Okay, that was about 8 blocks. United 384, Salt Lake Center, squawk 5624. Delta 9910, Runway 16 left, taxi via hotel. I'll have ATIS correction, I'll have the ATIS in a second here.
I apologize. I didn't see the, I didn't hear the last transmission that I stepped on. I apologize. That's all I said.
Up 9910, can you just verify runway 16 left via hotel, please?
We can definitely try to turn around. Let's get through this. Turn around for 16 left for Delta 9910. If given progressive taxi.
Okay, we're gonna have fun here, it looks like. All right.
Stand by, please. Delta 9910. I just need some sort of verification. Are you able to accept the runway, or can you not take the runway?
We can take it. We're just currently the wrong direction to take runway 16 left.
Okay, Delta 9910. No worries. That's all you need to say. Runway 16 right, taxi Alpha. Delta 9910, runway 16 right, taxi via Alpha.
16 right. Is it 16 right via Alpha for Delta 9910?
Read back correct. I'll get to you guys in a second. Just give me 1 second.
Am I celebrating with
American
Trump?
Airlines calling. Say again the call sign, just the call sign, please.
Are you celebrating with Trump tomorrow? Pratt PT6 says. It's the 4th. I'll be celebrating, yes.
Recycle transponder, squawk 6236. Market 1415, roger. Your radar contact 26 miles southeast of Big Patty VOR per desk requested. Advise back, please. And United 384, radar contact 4 or 5 miles south of the Carbon VOR. Five by 5. Are you voice now? Roger.
Salt Lake Center, SIM 1018 at Hill Air Force Base. Request clearance to Offutt.
SIM 1018, Salt Lake Center, standby.
I have to say, I like the red carpet in front of me. Although I don't think that's how it would look.
To 382 Salt Lake Center, you have no flight plan. Please file a flight plan and call back. Okay, unfortunately, I can't do anything without a flight plan. If you're having issues, I would suggest contacting VATSIM. I would suggest contacting VATSIM Tech for assistance, but I can't provide you any sort of technical assistance.
Yeah, we'll see if we get a clearance here soon from Clarence. For a second, I thought he
Sim 1018 Heavy, cleared to the Oscar Foxtrot Airport, Devlin 1 departure, vectors Wasatch and asphalt. Maintain 7,000, expect fall before 10 after 10 minutes. Squawk 6064.
Hang on, let me get that right here. All right, Sim 1018 Heavy, cleared Offutt as filed, Devlin 1 departure, Wasatch transition, 7,000 initial, flight level 410, 10 minutes later, 6064, we'll make sure is in the box. We're ready to start up.
Sim 1018 Heavy, just verify it's Devlin 1 departure, radar vectors Wasatch.
Oh.
And calling for startup is at your own risk. ATC in the United States will not assign a startup clearance.
Okay. All right, Devlin 1 departure with vectors to Wasatch, and we'll call you when we're ready to taxi. Sim 1018 Heavy.
Delta 9910, you're going the incorrect direction on Alpha. Please make a 180 and proceed northbound on Alpha.
I'm not really sure how I am to do this.
Well, we'll make a 180 on Bravo to turn back on Alpha. Sorry, let's go north on taxiway Alpha.
Oh boy. Oh, where's my charts? Sid, Devlin. Oh, I see what he wants me to do. Okay, so we got that chart. We'll go ahead, pin it. All right. Oh, Lord have mercy. Think I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue. Anyway, let's get this going. So I don't have to call for start.
Delta 382, no worries. Recycle your transponder, squawk 707 tree.
Okay, we're good there. After start. Okay.
707 tree.
Cabin crew, arm slides.
All doors are closed and armed. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your chief flight attendant. And on behalf of our captain and the entire crew, I wish you welcome on board.
German Air 846, Salt Lake Center. Recycle transponder, squawk 401 tree.
And the back of your seat is in the upright position. We request your full attention as our cabin crew will demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. When the seatbelt sign illuminates, you must fasten your seatbelt. Insert the metal
Southwest 128, are you on my frequency?
by pulling the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened while in your seat.
All right, let's start up number 3.
The instructions on the safety on board card. You will find it in the seat pocket in front of you. If you do not wish to perform the functions
Well, that ain't going to work until
please ask the flight attendant.
Ready to start the engines.
I do that.
Ready for engine start.
Please take a moment.
Starting engine 3.
Start of Help Open.
If we need to evacuate the aircraft,
Now, you can look to the flight engineer. Here's your N2, or you can just wait for.
each door is equipped with an inflatable slide, which may also be detached and used as
I thought
90% and 2.
we were in
Fuel on.
sync.
Light up.
mask will appear automatically in front of you.
Then you can watch your dials come up in front for the rest of the engine.
Over nose and mouth, adjust the headband and breathe normally.
KOFF 373, Salt Lake Center. Recycle transponder, squawk 6207.
If you are traveling with children or someone who requires assistance, please secure your own mask first.
7,000. That's only.
German Air 846, verify squawking 401 tree. Delta 382, radar contact 26 miles northeast of Riverton, VOR.
Engine stabilized.
Okay, now we'll get the next one going. Number 4.
Starting engine 4.
Start of valve open.
Exercising your radar contact.
Well-
Southwest 128, Salt Lake Center on guard. If you hear the transmission, contact Salt Lake Center on
20% and 2.
125.57 on guard.
Fuel on. Light up.
More air can be added by blowing into the tube, using the whistle and light to attract attention. All electronic devices must be set in airplane mode during flight. Until further
KLM 373, radar contact 20 miles north of Donnelly, VOR.
remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Also the use of electronic cigarettes.
German 846, radar contact
Starter off.
10 miles southwest of Great Falls, VOR.
You will find this and all the other safety procedures in the Safety on Board card, located in the seat pocket in front of you. We advise you to read the card
Engine stabilized.
All right, back up top, here we go.
Hesitate to ask one of our crew members. We wish you all a pleasant flight.
Starting engine 1.
Start of valve open. %, and 2.
Fuel on. Light up.
Okay, we should be getting...
Starter off. Engine stabilized.
All right, one more to go.
Starting engine 2.
Start of valve open. %, and 2.
Fuel on. Light up.
All right, we're just waiting for him to say starter off,
Starter off.
and then just a few minutes or a few seconds, engine stabilized.
Engine stabilized.
Okay, with that, I come right, oop, wrong panel, straight over, and we're gonna close our gens. Okay, that takes us off the APU. Then I'm gonna close the APU bleed and make sure everything looks good. And we're gonna stop the APU. And then on with the packs. And the hydraulics. All right, let's resume. Okay, so after start, we can actually run this.
After start checklist.
Flight recorder.
On.
Start switches.
Off.
Beacon lights.
On.
Brake pressure.
Check.
Start levers.
Idle detent.
Engine anti-ice.
Off.
Electrical panel. This.
Oh, I forgot one. Always do.
Check. Pack valves. Open. Dual warning lights. Out. Hydraulic panel. Check. Flight recorder. On. After start checklist completed.
Okay, I forgot. What did I set for? Flaps 10. Stand by 1 second, folks. I'll be right back.
Salt Lake Center, Delta 910. This time is facing the right end of the departure runway. Sitting chilling at Alpha 11.
Delta 9910 after departure, turn right heading 295, runway 16 right, clear for takeoff.
After departure, turn 29er right. Give me 295 right, 295. Post departure. And clear to take off for runway 16. Yeah, 16 right. But Delta 910.
South 128 Salt Lake Center, radar contact.
All right, sorry about that. Had to use the restroom there. Yo, Sergeant Yesh. Welcome aboard with your 5-stream streak. You know what? I'm going up to 20. Okay, so that changes us. Not really, just a little down on the initial pitch. 113, 119, 138. High altitude here. I thought, you know what? We better push a little bit on the flaps. All right, let's call for taxi. All right, we said initial 2.8. Okay, and then 2. What was it? 13, 16. All right, got our flight director set. Transponder. Radars are ready, not yet. And we're go for takeoff.
Taxi checklist, please.
Flaps.
Damn.
Flaps 10. Flaps 20.
Flaps 10.
Flaps 10.
Takeoff data, EPR and airspeed bugs.
Set and cross-check.
Stabilizer trim.
Set in green band.
Probe heat.
On.
Flight controls.
Damn.
Contact the altitude.
Delta 9910 is passing 6,000 at the heading requested at 295.
Delta 9910, roger. Probably to followable 230, resume normal speed.
Climbing to this flight level 230. Just say resume normal speed.
Check.
Delta 9910.
Yaw dampers.
Check.
Seatbelts and shoulder harness.
Check.
APU. Off. Fuel heat. Off. Totalizer and gross weight. Set. Flight engineer and pilot panels. Check. Aft cargo heat. Normal. Seatbelts and shoulder harness. Check. Taxi checklist completed.
Someone trying to reach you, Valley Mary, static, negative voice. Delta 9910, proceed around cloud.
Correct the cloud, Delta 90 for Delta 9910.
Center, reach 1018 Heavy, ready to taxi Hill.
Let's verify that SIM 1018 calling.
Affirm.
SIM 1018 Heavy, do you have a preference for the runway?
We'd like 14, but we'll take what you're given.
SIM 1018 Heavy, runway 14, taxi via Alpha.
Via Alpha for Sim 1018 Heavy.
And just make sure you're reading out the runway assignment next time. Remember, all runway assignments and hold short instructions are required to be read out over the radio.
Okay, we'll taxi to runway 14 via Alpha, Sim Air Force 1018. Sorry.
All good, read back quick.
Oh boy, that's gonna be a fun few minutes. All right, well, to get to Alpha, we're gonna have to go Delta.
Airport, did I call to ground? I believe it was November 4th, I Quebec. Second request. Where are you at? And I didn't get any information on your flight. Can you verify your direction, please, that aircraft type, that's all I need. Copy, what's your direction? Report Mike Quebec, roger. I appreciate you putting that in the remarks. However, I'm going to simulate it as if I don't have any information, just to keep it realistic. Departure frequency will be this frequency today, and squawk 5370. And do you have a runway preference? 48 Mike Quebec. Runway 35, taxi via Alpha. And just make sure you're reading out the runway assignment. I know you requested it, but just make sure you're reading out that runway assignment. It is required. Yes, sir, but with the runway. So you have to say runway 35, taxi via Alpha. And I'm sorry, who was calling airborne?
Okay.
Bravo, India, Lima Yankee, select center, good day, squawk 6001. Bravo, Salt Lake Center, clear to Las Vegas Airport, Alpine 5 departure, need that as filed. Columbia 617, 16,000, squawk 4152. 2 Bravo, reback patch. Hotel Bravo, India Lima Yankee, ready to contact.
Okay, 7,000.
Data link service available at KUSA. Fine. Oh, I thought you said you had a crazy woman on board. I got sincerely confused. Were you looking for crazy woman VOR? Okay. Hotel Bravo is eliminating crazy woman VOR.
I'll get to talking about the VA here in a moment there, Sergeant Yash. Simulated Air Force. Let's get out of his airspace or at least get onto our run. Arm, de-arm area. Walker 3361, go ahead.
Parking brake set.
3361, select center radar contact.
There we go.
Aircraft code, say again.
Okay, so icing, cabin, alert.
Cabin ready.
Quebec Whiskey, select center receiver.
Cabin crew, take your
Block
seats.
1452.
Okay, transponder. Terra. Radar on. What else we got here? Ignitions, flight start. We'll take care of that. Pack valves closing.
Quebec Whiskey, radar contact 11 miles southwest of the Wells to VOR. Welcome.
And fuel pumps on, cross feeds, and set.
Correction, Speedbird Quebec Whiskey, data link service available at KUSA. And that's Dynasty Aircraft's call in. Verify your call sign and your position, please.
Okay, let's get these set up. Click up.
Dynasty 5393, Salt Lake Center. My radar contact position has reported data link service available. Stand by. I'm sorry, I had 2 aircraft call in at once. If you could say again. Mike Quebec. Pocatello Tower, make left down departure, runway 35, clear for takeoff. Just make sure, acknowledge left down departure, please.
Salt Lake Center, Delta 9910 is having gear issues. Mr. will advise you if we need to divert back to the airport.
50 Tracer Bravo, say again. 50 Tracer Bravo, thank you, runway 19er, taxi to Alpha. And I'm sorry, who is calling requesting a diversion?
Delta 9910 is having gear issues. Looks like my keyboard lost power and it reactivated. The hotkey reactivated the landing gear, so it's not recycling.
I copy, sir.
Hang on, I'm just making sure we're the way we need. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Salt Lake Center, Delta 9910, disregard that diversion request. Gear is officially recycled.
I copy.
Yeah, Salt Lake Center, our SIM 1018 heavy at Hill, ready for departure 14.
SIM 1018 heavy, Hill Tower. Maintenance frequency, runway 14, clear for takeoff with 100 nutter.
I'm sorry, you threw me off there about Hill Tower. Are they up?
Negative, that's my bad. Runway 14, clear for takeoff.
All right, runway 14, clear for takeoff. SIM 1018.
48 Mike Quebec, radar contact, verify altitude leaving.
I was gonna say, that'd be awesome. Here we go.
Parking brake released.
Okay, brakes off.
48 Mike Quebec, thank you. The Ogden altimeter, a 300 nutter. American 2055, Salt Lake Center, recycle transponder, squawk 6041. Yeah, no, the radio's terrible here. It's all good. Oakland Center on flight, frequency change approved, great day.
Should I be mean and tell him he needs to call airfield maintenance out here to clear the runway?
Tango, clear to the Oshkosh Airport as filed.
Stabilize.
Got birds.
Tree 0, expect follow tree 9010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency, this frequency, squawk 0526. Hold for release.
Cross set.
knots.
Your SIM runway Tango, read back is crew, hold for release, advisory number 1 departure runway. And if you're having a hard time hearing this frequency, change to my frequency
V1. Rotate.
185 and advise on that frequency.
Positive rate. Gear up.
United 384, the Oakland Center is offline and frequency change free, great day.
Gears up. Flaps 10. Thousand to level off.
Salt Lake Center, Sim 1018 airborne through approaching 7,000. Did he
Number 1018 Heavy, Salt Lake City departure, radar contact, close maintain level 230.
on up to flight level 230, Sim 1018.
5032 Bravo, Jackson Tower, runway 100 for takeoff and 1808. Bravo, runway 100, clear for takeoff.
Flaps 5. Flaps 1.
Dive, dive. Dive, dive.
Flaps up.
Sim Airports 1018 Heavy, turn left, correct to Wasatch.
10,000.
Left turn, direct Wasatch, Sim 1018 Heavy.
Bravo, Salt Lake Center, radar contact, climate change level 320.
And Desktop Pilot Society, hey, thank you for the great raid. 6 viewers coming. Thank you so much. Welcome aboard, Raiders. Captain Mike here with Flying with Mike. Zambane Sim, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Bear with me here as I kind of figure out, am I on course or not? Where am I? There I am. I'm not going the right way, am I? Yeah, I am.
Sim reports 1018. Proceed direct to Rock Springs VOR. That's Oscar Charlie Sierra. Cover maintain flight level 410.
Okay, direct Rock Springs, Oscar Charlie Sierra, and on up to flight level 410. Mr. Bongo, welcome aboard.
Good morning, November 960 Sierra on the ground, Salt Lake, with information on your request Alpha, please.
9600 Salt Lake City Ground. Ramp up control device ready for taxi.
Salt Lake 3, we'll call for taxi.
All right.
Just verify each startup is not approved. I'm not authorizing it. I just can't or what I'm saying is it's at your own risk. I can't legally authorize it because you're in a non-member zone.
Apologies, 960 Sierra at my own risk.
We are great today, Mr. Bongo. Just trying to keep up with the controller here. Okay, let's nose down just a smidge more to build some more speed up. But welcome in all Raiders. Again, my name's Captain Mike. Flying with Mike is the stream you're with here, and we've been in the streaming world for about 5-6 years. We've been in the flight simming world since 1999-2000 time frame. So we've got a lot of experience, and we're hoping for the best here. Flying from Hill Air Force Base in Utah to Offutt in Nebraska. We're trying to figure out if we're on course or not. I think we are. Yeah, I think we're direct now. Okay. Little offline, but hey, we'll take it. All right, let's see. Give me a second. Yeah, I partied back when it was great back in 1999. Be right back, folks. CEO needs to chat with me. It should. The CEO informed me if you're in the St. Louis area, we're expecting scattered rain. We have scattered rain here.
Actually, stand by for that.
How's the radar look? Let's drop down. Oh, radar looks good. What a... It's next after takeoff, gears up, landing lights not off yet.
Probably just a realistic delay. Probably just taking a second, that's all, no worries. Thanks. And November 9600, runway 17, taxi Kilo. Taxi Kilo, runway 17, 9600. Can you Papa Bravo, radar contact lost? November 205, Juliet Alpha, that's ready to taxi again, GA 17. Ruby Tango Solid Center. Only aircraft I have in that area is a primary. Verify your squawking altitude. Who's calling for taxi? November 205, Juliet Alpha. 205, Juliet Alpha, Select Center. Verify squawking outside beacon. Stand by, check now. Foxy 440, radar contact lost.
All right, we're on our way.
100, 700, Solid Center, stand by.
Uh-oh.
The 9910 to 70 of the Yellowstone tree arrival landing east, the billing is altimeter 3002.
All right, how far do we have to go? Quite a bit. Okay.
So, Robert, thank you. Do you get your site depth for me, please?
All right.
And, Caesar 5 Juliet Alpha, thank you. Runway 17, taxi Kilo behind a Falcon. Kilo, behind a Juliet Alpha. So, Robert, take a radar contact 16 southeast, lowest to be warrant, climb Cape 390, frequency change for within. Airport 22, Minneapolis, Center 5, frequency change for Great Day. Delta 9910, how do you hear? Delta 9910, how do you hear?
I got you 555, sorry, phone call with the, phone call with dispatch, sorry.
Delta 9910, no worries, vicinity of the Yellowstone tree arrival, heading east, the billing altimeter, 3002.
This is clear for the decision, and
Okay, we're getting close to the 0.85 on our climb. What was that? I know what that is now.
Salt Lake Center. Are you over the Moses Lake area at the moment, or where are you at?
All right, let me just do a quick test, make sure I found it. Cool. The feedback's gone. Sorry about that, folks. I didn't realize that it was unmuted, one of the windows.
Squawk 1576, radar contact position as reported.
Well, good day there, NUS 668. Resubscribing for another month. We sure appreciate you. 36 months in a row. Wow. Much appreciated. Thank you, sir.
And if anyone is listening and wants to try out the data link service that's available, you can connect to CPDLC via KUSA.
All right. We're in a mock climb hold, meaning the mock speed is what we're using to push the next 6,000 or so feet up. And we're headed up to Rock Springs. Unfortunately, this plane data link I don't think was around yet. I think the earliest, I know the 200s were still flying early 2000 time frame, maybe even into the teens, but I don't know if they ever got data link. I would bet they would have wanted it because of high frequencies. Oh, that stinks. So, but anyway, we had a request from Sergeant Yesh there about what VA we're flying with today, and it's simulated Air Force. The big thing about this is when you join an outfit like Sim Air Force, and there's a half dozen to a dozen of them like them out there. They're called virtual special op group or associations, which on VATSIM allows you to do military operations. Most of the time you're going to do them in the military operating areas, special flight areas, and what other countries have designated restricted. And you'll be able to do air-to-air, air-to-ground, air-to-air refueling, cargo dropping, paradropping, basically what the military does. And within those confines, there are some parameters you have to understand. So there is a little training involved, basically for the formation flying, and the understanding you don't shoot down tubs, airline tubs. Now, of course, my aircraft would be potentially a target, being I am with Sim Air Force. and you have to say Sim Air Force in the remarks, or whichever virtual special op group you're with. Reason, that way the controllers know, okay, you could be escorting or formation flying. There could be 2, 3, 4 of you up there. And there are rules for that, folks. And but by joining, that allows you to do that. If you go to, and let me bring it up real quick. I don't think I've seen it as of late. iCrew.simairforce.com. Get all the details. Love to have you aboard. So, and there are times where we'll get together with other groups and we'll fly appropriately, mission-wise. But the big thing that gets a lot of people with these groups is they have to be flown on VATSIM. I wonder why. VATSIM Virtual Special Ops Group. So to get credit, you have to be on VATSIM, and to see your opponent. I know you have multiplayer in that other one. Yeah. Now, we do have a DCS side to the house, Digital Combat Sim. So there are ways not to be on VATSIM. So the credit, I don't know how that works. I am not on Digital Combat Sim, nor do I have intentions of ever coming back to it. So, check it out, though. I'm going to go ahead and set my airspeed here. Hang on. Got a little distracted by that thing called Fly Your Plane. That way I can do, you know what, let's do it the simple way. There, just came up automatically, iCrew.simairforce.com. All right, let's switch into Mach. And we're about to go into cruise. Now, that little warning light here just said the auto throttle kicked off. All right.
100-700, I truly apologize. I didn't realize you called for clearance. That's my mistake, sir. Clear to the Pocatello Airport via the Scott 2.
Pocatello, we've been there with the Caravan. That's a fun little airport.
Maintain 1-2000, expect 1-1000 after 10 minutes.
Let's go on into cruise power.
Frequency squawk 4210.
Now, as you saw, there are some things here. You can look at your radar controls.
100-700. Unfortunately, I don't do squawk readbacks. I'll need the clearance readback in its entire its fullness.
And your 3 CDUs and the EFB in 2 dimension. I think we just crossed Rock Spring. We certainly did. Did he go down? Oh no, I see the green line. I was trying to find his... That's the one thing... Okay, we've leveled off in cruise.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. However, we recommend to keep your seatbelt fastened while in your seat. In a few moments, the cabin crew will be passing through the cabin with hot or cold drinks, as well as a light meal. Alcoholic drinks are also available at a nominal charge. Sit back and relax and enjoy the flight.
All right, we're in cruise. Fuel looks good. Packs are on. Everything looks good so far. Let's see, when was, oh no, I'm not going to pull it up. All right, so navigationally wise, we're just flying off what we've already inputted. Now, we said, so wait a minute, we're not updating. Hang on. Rock Springs is 1600. Let's make sure we got things set up right. There we got one.
Dedicating funnel 360 on the display now. And if you can verify that you're squawking 1576, I have a 2000 beacon readout on the display.
There we go. What we were looking for is to see these updating. Now, let me see. Yeah, we're too far away from...
Denver 1018. Denver, center on flight frequency gauge freeway. Good rest of your flight.
All right, thanks for the ATC. Great job. We'll catch you the next time. Sim 1018 to Unicom. And there we go. All right, get the radar aiming down just a tad. And we're 35 miles off of Rock Springs and 30 miles. Now we're using a VOR Cherokee 115 on our second one. We also have Medicine Bow 116.8.5 available. Let's see if it'll tune in. Perfect. That'll keep us going. And that's what keeps you going with this plane, is keeping that INS update going. Once you get out over the ocean, you get about 160 miles or so from a VOR, you go dark, and the INS works off of your last information, but it has nothing to keep it up to date, so it does drift. So you could actually look at your route. If you could narrow that line down to just the line, you would see your airplane over time start drifting left or right as it continues until you're able to pull a VOR in. So you got to get within about 150 to 160 miles usually to get one to update. As soon as it does and you get the second one, that second one helps it quicker, but just the one will help. What VORs are good for you? Any that'll tune in. You can even use VORs that are on your flight plan. So like Scottsbluff, which probably is a couple of 100 miles away from us, that's doable. I thought I put this on flight plan. Oh, you know what? I did not. So right there is your confirmation. 249 is how far away we are. Actually, no. Oh, hang on. We got 22 minutes, so we're about 192. We got a little ways to go to get it to come in. All right, now we're so close to Cherokee. That's why we lost the update here. Now, you could wait for it to come back. We're on 1685 on that one. Or go back to the one behind us, 16. And there, we're back on course. Well, we'll get there. INS flying, which is really hate Windows. That's one of the reasons I'm not a fan of Microsoft. Oh, those stupid things telling me Windows 10 has expired. Really? Okay, thank you. You don't need to keep telling me that. Anyway, it's the way of a long time using the INS. First the SEVA, then the LTNs, then we graduated to the FMSs. And the FMS, of course, is GPS backed up as well as it's in many INS. So you have multiple ways. So, all right, enough classroom. Time to have fun. Sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. We got about what are we at? Where is 59 minutes to go, roughly. You know what? Let's just make it a little easier on the eyeballs. Hang on. All right, so let's just cruise along, and I hope you enjoy the flight. It is a fun day for sure. And just a little over an hour from now, we should be touching down at Offutt Air Force Base. For those of you that go, that sounds familiar. If you're in the Air Force, you may or may not know about it. Most likely you should, but you may not. But if you were in my day, you knew the Strategic Air Command was headquartered there. And for those out there in my day in the military, back in the 80s, early 90s, SAC, they weren't something to mess with. They handled the nuclear side of the house with the military. From B-52s, B-58 Hustlers, going back B-47, I think was the predecessor to the B-52.
Salt Lake Center on guard frequency. Contact Salt Lake Center on 125.57. Port Southwest 5796 on guard.
And the B-36 and B-29s. They were the nuclear backbone for a long time before the missiles perfected and became another level of retaliation for lack of a better word, than the Navy's submarine and other forces had nuclear capability as well. And I'm not talking power. I'm talking boom, bombs. They were based at Offutt, and it's an interesting, they were definitely something that kept a lot of things in check in the Air Force. And some say good riddance when they left, some say wish you would have stayed. So anyway, that's where we're headed. And today, hey, who we got here? Tyra QT, welcome in. Wish all those weapons would not exist. Well, yeah, it would be a great thing. Problem is, you can't get rid of them. And I don't mean that in like, oh yeah, well, yeah, we could all get rid of them. But the genie's out of the bottle, unfortunately, with them. And who knows? Maybe one day we will be in a world where this thing is not working. Yeah, I know. Mutual assured destruction. That's what's behind it. We launched and Russia launches, we're all destroyed. Vice versa. And I mean, to a point it does work, but also it does not work. So all right, let me check something here. We're getting a little far out. Oh, one other place you can get VORs that are in range, theoretically usable, is to come back here, INS, and scan. And these are all that you could check. Now there's 14 pages worth. I just used my map, if you don't mind. I'm trying to see. Oh, Cheyenne. Where's Cheyenne in relation? Okay, we'll do that. 13.1. Go back to the AV tab and to the middle here, 13.1. That was, you know what, let's see if we can't do one a little better. Laramie. Oh, let's try Scottsbluff. We should be close enough now. 112.6. Maybe? Yes, no. Did I do it right? No, we're not. All right, 17.6. We'll do Laramie. If we can get Cheyenne, we can get Laramie. And we got them both. Okay, so we got them both for a little bit here. Then we should get in close enough to... must be a 60-mile one. Okay. All right, so there you have it. There it is in flight. Need the new paint job that's on the 748 Hawker sets. Tierra QT's in Ramstein. Yeah, I get it. What used to be even worse in the Cold War for Germany. Yeah. So I get it. You know, intentional there, sir. I'll back it off a little. Yeah, the sim is up over your voice, which probably you all can hand it. I can go up a tad now. Listen to that. Hawker likes it in his ears. Perfect, I got. I almost needed to yell. Oh, but yeah, the Cold War was an interesting time frame. And unfortunately, even though most of that has settled, with the wall in Berlin coming down, with the Soviet Union returning to the name Russia, and the putting back, if you will, the Soviet bloc countries that came under their control, Czechoslovakia, can't think of all the names right now, but that all was good for the world. The fact that they're still here, yes, stinks, but and even the dismantlement of them makes it even that much more dangerous because of dirty bombs. Dirty bomb, if you're not familiar, takes nuclear material and turns it into a less potent nuclear bomb. But the problem is, when you introduce nuclear to it, it's still just as mean and powerful. Just not as, it's not going to wipe out a whole city, it's going to wipe out a few blocks. Yeah, you're right. Many of them are there at Ramstein. Used to be, they were up in Frankfurt. Oh, no problem. Not a problem. Frankfurt, Rhine-Main, they kind of transferred it down to Ramstein. And, yeah, it's still a big thing there. It's also used for pre-positioning equipment to other locations, as you saw with the Middle East conflicts. So it helps get stuff in theater quicker than having to take it from the States, mostly by ship. You can only fly so much in planes, and getting it into theater quicker. So that's what some of these, we'll call them garrisons, some of these bases, garrisons, are there for pre-positioning. And so, but Ramstein, that whole area there is unbelievable how big the military is. I never realized it. I worked for I was a contractor to the military here for 7 or 8 years, and we assisted service members in making sure the system that did their personal moves to and from. And I did not realize what you all had at Ramstein until that job. It's unbelievable. I thought Ramstein was just... Okay, who wants to chat? In place there at Ramstein, besides the big hospital, the Army has big things, but yes, it does put a bullseye on them. I mean, we here where I live in St. Louis, Missouri, USA, we have several sites that are still to this day targeted. Hopefully one day that'll no longer be the case. Problem is, you hit one, the effect is pretty widespread. All right, let's, whoa, didn't mean to click there. Actually, I did. Hang on. That's where we're headed. This, your two favorite planes, yeah. This is a great plane from Felis. I love it. One day, I keep saying it, one day I'm going to get the cargo version, but then I go off and get the 757. So, all right, let's get in here and check some things out. All right, what were we fixating radio-wise on Laramie? We should still be in range. Wonder what's up with that. We'll go here then. All right, we're still tracking. Let's see. Now, if you don't necessarily, a lot of people tell me, well, your INS isn't working right. Yeah, it is. It's working fine. People get enamored that you gotta click the switch. You don't. Now, in some planes, yes, you do. This one, you do not have to. And nothing wrong with the 757, Hawker says. True, it's a nice airplane. I'm still a fan of the 767. But with regards to this plane, you can be in either mode and you're fine. This just allows you to keep the ability to set course and frequencies, or course and headings, if you so desire, which I do. And because chatting, I just haven't done it. There we go. In case they go away. All right, and we'll go to altitude hold. All right, so we're 32 miles from Scottsbluff, 48 miles off Cheyenne. Let's take a look upstream, see if there's something mutable. Huh. If you're into trains, Alliance, Nebraska is a place you want to check out. it's the here in the United States where a lot of the coal comes from to a lot of the power plants comes out of what's called the Powder River Canyon area. It's a rather large area of Colorado, Wyoming, South Dakota. I'm not sure if they're in South Dakota or not, but anyway, it's a very supposedly quote quote cleaner coal than that was out east. Anyway, they make their trains up out west of Alliance. They come into Alliance on the Santa Fe. Big inspection, and then they continue on east and south and to distribute the coal to the coal power plants. So I know, off track of aviation, but I know some out there that enjoy trains, planes, and automobiles. Okay, we're coming over Scotts Bluff, so I really do need another one. How about 110.2? Nope, not in range. 11.8. There we go. Alliance. All right, looking at our fuel one more time. Looks good. Now, I can hear people go, man, your number 4 and number 1s are in trouble there. Yes, but not really. All right, the Howery 3 has no altitude restrictions. The ILS JMO at 4,000. All right, that's a good start point for me. Since we're now at 41,000 minus 4 puts us 37. All right, 37 times 3 is 115. All right, so about 115 miles out, we'll need to make sure we're into our descent. All right, Twitch folks, you just saw it come in the chat room. Tomorrow, 9 o'clock Central U.S. Daylight Time for everyone else, so they can do some math homework. 1400 Zulu. We plan our 4th of July flight, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Details are actually in Discord. So, and the invite I know has come up a couple times, but we'll send another one out just for you. Check it out. I hope y'all can join us. It'll be a fun time. So we were trying to work some Air Force into a flight into the East Coast. I just couldn't really piece together good locations to fly out of, and where I really wanted to come into on the East Coast. But and mainly because I knew this one was gonna happen. So so yeah, check us out tomorrow, 9 o'clock Central U.S. time. The rest of the world, it's 1400 Zulu, and yes, it will be put up on YouTube, like about 1,200 other videos. All right. Okay, we're off Scotts Bluff. And with that, folks, I will be right back. Gonna check in on some stuff I have going on in the background. Be right back. All right, we're back with you. And again, normally I would actually be driving around St. Louis delivering parts. But today our company gave most of us the day off. So thank you so much to the company. And it gave me the opportunity for yet another stream. So glad to have you all aboard. It is a wonderful day here. Well, for us outside, it's been off and on raining. So it looks like, according to the wife, maybe another storm headed our way. I don't know. I haven't checked. I'll do that after the stream. But again, thank you all for being a part of Flying with Mike. The follows and the chatter, we sure appreciate it. Really much appreciated. Got a great rate from Desktop Pilot Society and a great subscription from Resub, let me rephrase, in USIC. Just a great day here of simming. So we are in the Felis 747-200, flying out of Hill Air Force Base back to Offutt, Nebraska. Offutt, Nebraska is where they're, I guess you would say they're based, but you can find them probably, there's only a handful throughout the United States. And basically the mission of this plane, let me put it out. I'll help you out there, sir. Anyway, let me get back here and get outside. But there is more to this texture than, hang on a second, let's put it a little bit more centered, that comes with the file for it. You can, in the file, add where you put a hump for some of the satellites, the air refueling off the nose, and some antennas throughout the plane. I just don't like playing with PlaneMaker. I'm kind of that one that say, hey, if it really isn't screwed up, why mess it up? So I don't. But that is the E4A, is the military term for it. We see them here at an air base nearby, occasionally shooting approaches. Mainly, I guess, somehow Omaha's airspace is really busy. I find that hard to believe, but I guess it's possible. No more busy than us. But, you know, for whatever reason. But it's always fun to check in to Facebook, because they're like, oh, the president's here. Like, how do you get the presidential scheme off this plane? I think they're just focused on that it says this right here, United States of America. I mean, there's a lot more. I mean, there's a paint job on the tail, and I'm not talking about the new one. I'm talking before that one. So, that was always fun. And just about 9 out of 10 times that the president is coming to St. Louis. Now, it would make sense to come into the air base, but they go to Lambert. Obviously, longer runways, that's one. Beyond that, I don't know. And I don't want to speculate. Other than closer to the people. You know, there's people in Illinois, but, you know, hey, yeah. Get out of the way, you bother me, kids. But, yeah, it always kind of cracked me up, because a few times when I worked out at the airport fire, you know, there was talk they're coming, and a lot of the equipment came in ahead of the they had to still go across the river to the airport. It just make no sense. But then again, all you got to say is the government. Makes sense then. Because they make no sense in our government. All right, looks like we're about 30 minutes out. Let's get in here and find out exactly how far out we are. Oh, we are in need of a VOR. Okay, I'm going to throw 112.7. Okay, and the heck is O'Neill? Huh. Am I gonna have to get a sectional up here to get that? $13.9. No, we just went to the low. $13.9. All right, now here's the fun part. Let's pull up our arrival, and I can already tell you. Let's go to 7. All right, so pretty soon after we make the turn off the O'Neill VOR and head for Offutt, we will start our descent. So we got about 90 miles. So let's get into it, shall we? Let's start. That'll help for a little bit with our performance. Landing now. Let's see, KOFF. Enter. Okay, 96. We'll get our load sheet numbers in. Here's the current conditions. It's 1,000 feet. Okay, and we're looking at a pretty good run here. Okay. Let's go medium brakes. All right, so you can see we'll start the flaps at about 230 and plan touchdown at 130 on speeds. Set the speed bugs. All right. Now let's go back here and click checklist. All right, so once we get ready to descend, actually, I don't think we turned it, did we? Oh, we did, even though it really doesn't matter. The seatbelt sign, you know, most of them will be in their seats strapped in anyway, checking whatever they check. Check, 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 check. Recheck, check, recheck. It's the military way. Oh, anyway. All right, let's set the brakes so to medium. And we're good. Technically, the logo light could go off. Any traffic nearby? Nope. All right, we're coming up on Answorth. We may lose the signal, may not, but we're still tracking O'Neill 65 out. And then we're headed down the thing. Let's see, Hawker put in here, oh boy, here we go. I started something with the check. A checklist to start, a checklist for the checklist that you have to log that you did all the items on the checklist. Designed for the lowest common denominator, a checklist. I added that at the end. Check. Oh, we're very familiar with checklists. He might even be more. But anyway, yeah. So, anyway, hey, by the way, oh, hey, what's this? Is that me or? Oh, that was me. Okay. I was looking over at my Navigraph charts. All of a sudden, there's like there's an airplane on my route. I'm like, did somebody pop in on my route? How dare you? Oh, we have fun. That's what we're here for, folks. Try to lighten the load. Our loads during the week can be rough. I mean, let's be honest. Some of us have jobs that are just really demanding. Some of us really boring. But, you know, we come here, we try to just lighten it up, relax, take that deep breath and say, ah. And I hope you all join in the flight sim. I know Sergeant Yash did because he reported in landing, arriving, departing Munich, one of the two. I hope you all find some way to relax. Life can sometimes get really hectic, really quick, sometimes faster than we could ever imagine. Let's see, descend and maintain flight level 350 from Otto ATC. Descending. So, one way I find is the flight sim. It's probably not what many would think they know me personally, but it allows me to live out dreams that I can't anymore and just will not be able to. And it's okay. I'm fine with it. Some will say, you know, find another hobby or find something. So that's why I release and enjoy with flight. Some enjoy going up, blowing things out of the sky in DCS or on the ground in other ventures. So just find something that allows you to relax. You know, knitting, crocheting, you know, it all does. Painting, model railroading. I know I love model railroading as well. And just you'd be shocked what it allows you to detach from. And some building a flight sim. Someday, someplace, somewhere. So, you definitely heard wrong, Hawker. You must have been away from the speakers earlier. When I said we're not gonna ever play DCS anymore. But you ought to get into it and have fun with it. And by the way, if you all think that other sim out there is real, you haven't seen real. Now, the last time I flew DCS was probably nearly 10 years ago, and they blow X-Plane and that sim out of the water with what they've done. And if you're into the combat flying and all of that, so DCS is really pushed computer rendered scenery beyond the limits. I actually have a HOTAS. There, Hawker. All right, we've begun our descent 35,000, so let me recompute that real quick. 35. Okay, times 393. We'll still call it 100 miles out. So once we come over O'Neill, unless Auto ATC tells us otherwise, we'll continue our descent. We'll start our descent back up. Yeah, I have one. The Saitek X52 Pro. Okay, we're coming off O'Neill now. Okay, let me pull up the next one. Frequency 116.95. All right, now as we begin setting up for this, this is when you want to get this navigation system. You want to make sure, one, it's been updating, and now you're ready for your approach. Remember, you control it. There is no vertical planning in an LTN or a SIVA. It's the pilot and his henchman, the first officer. That guy behind him doing all the work is doing all of his work. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and open up the valves for the number 1 and number 4 reserve tanks. Get those flowing in. And let me just, okay, 35. We'll keep the fuel heat on for now. All right, we're going to go ahead, put the music to rest as we begin lining up for when we start down. Let's see. Okay, so about 50 miles out of Columbus. Okay, so we're ready to start down. Now, here's the interesting thing with SIVA. if you didn't hear in the beginning, SIVA, you can only use lat long coordinates. If you don't have them, you're flying VOR to VOR to VOR, normal navigation. That's why LTN, you could fly an RNAV. You can't fly the vertical type with the RNIPs, but you can manipulate it because you can set up by fixes. And by that, that's that 4 or 5 character fix. For instance, Howery on our arrival, I can put
Down
that
a
in.
little off.
So, and we can go direct to it. I'm going to go ahead and keep it going. Even though Auto ATC has not said anything, I think we're going to continue. By the way, what is our CTAF? .ctaf KOFF. Let me see if it matches. They don't have one. 123.7 will be that. Wow. 123. All right, time to come down. Let's come on down to 11,000 and evaluate. See what I mean? How these numbers can help you set up usually about a 2,300 foot per minute. Now we're going to switch into IAS at 300. Actually, not I. We're going to oh yeah, we'll come off our power indication to indicate, I'm sorry, down here on our EPR, which we can do off the menu. Okay. Seat belts, not yet. Anti-ice, exterior lights, auto brakes are set. INS to radio, brake pressure, altimeters, and landing data. Okay. Time to go to speed. And our minimum altitude on this approach is 250, I believe. Okay, so radar altimeter set. All right, and for those of you just tuning in, thank you for checking us out. You're catching the tail end of this flight. We're in the descent for Offutt Air Force Base, Nebraska. What used to be SAC's headquarters, Strategic Air Command for the U.S. Air Force. We departed Hill Air Force Base out in Ogden, Utah, which is just north of Salt Lake City, if you're familiar with the U.S. We welcome you aboard and hope you enjoy the Felis 747-200. If you're looking for a very realistic aircraft, you've come to the place with Felis. They have done an unbelievable job of realism. And add to it, you've got 3 positions that usually are filled to fly this plane. The captain, first officer. Hang on, let me be more. The captain, the first officer, and the guy behind the curtain that nobody knows about. Oop, let me try that again. The first officer, or I'm sorry, the flight engineer. I always get his terminology wrong. He handles everything. Make sure the air conditioning, the electricity, the hydraulics, the firefighting systems, all, and even can monitor the engines, are there for him. So he's gonna usually work his butt off, while the other two, they've got it pretty rough too. They got to try to make sure they get to the right airport and onto the right runway, not a taxiway, and as safe as possible. Oh, and of late, not clip trucks on interstates or such like that. If you haven't heard it, go look up Newark Airfield. And if that's not enough, add United to it. So, but anyway, we're in, like I said, the tail end of it. We're going to go ahead, turn seatbelts on now. And if you're up for a prediction, it's exclamation mark, the word predict, space, and a negative number. And we'll see who gets the closest. All right, let's see how we're doing. Now, you could be flying this VOR to VOR, this approach. We're about to cross Columbus VOR. I think we're going to be a little high. Maybe not. The goal is 4,000 feet when we reach the ILS for Offutt. I think we'll be okay. Well, we'll just keep, trucking along here. Okay, there's Columbus. Now we're going to go on a course of 095 to Boise, and then slight turn to intercept the localizer at Chapbo. All right, ILS frequency, we'll go ahead, dial in 11. Is it 11.7? Okay. And okay, hold on, that is TACAN. Oh, wow, we're flying the TAC. What? This ought to be interesting. All right, let me get the latest, greatest weather. 3011. Wait, that's wrong airport. Winds 130 at 710 mile. Broken at 17,000, and our altimeter 29991. All right. Sorry, just checking something outside the house. All right, here we go. 16,000. And how we doing? 18. The next fix is coming up. Howery. Doing pretty good at that 11,000. Let's take it on down. Go ahead and start slowing us up. Excuse me. All right, so we're slowing, and our final approach course is 127. Okay. Now we're looking for buoys, and I am going to come off. Okay, 26 miles, so a total of 50 miles at buoys, and I may adjust here. All right, there's 245. Let's go ahead and pull the speed brakes in.
Approach checklist, please.
Seatbelts and shoulder harness.
Check.
Seatbelts and no smoking signs.
On.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Exterior lights.
Check.
Outer brakes.
Medium.
Radio INS switches.
Radio.
Flight director computer selectors.
Check.
1,000 level off.
Brake pressure.
Check.
Altimeters.
1013. Set and cross check.
Landing data, EPR and airspeed bugs.
Set and cross check.
Seatbelts and shoulder harness. Check. Fuel panel. Check. Fuel heat. Wait.
$10,000.
Off. EPR computer. Let's see. Go around. Cabin altitude. Check. Circuit breakers. Check. Approach checklist completed.
Okay, we're just getting her slowed up now. And make that little course adjustment to intercept the ILS here. All right, let's get this slowing down.
Thousand level off.
Okay, we've got the localizer alive, I believe.
Localizer alive.
There we go.
Flaps 1. Flaps 5.
Okay.
Flaps 10.
Think I have maybe the runway in sight. Let's get a little closer. Waiting on the glide slope to start coming down. We're about 3,000 or so feet above the ground. And we're about 13 miles out.
Gear down. Gears down. Green light.
Yep, that is the runway.
Flaps 20. Flaps 25. Flaps 30.
Landing checklist.
Gear.
Down and check.
Down and check. Flaps.
Flaps 30.
Flaps 30. Spoilers.
Armed.
Ignition.
Flight start.
Anti-skid.
Check.
Altimeters. 1013. Set and cross-checked. Landing checklist completed.
All right, we'll get... All right, I think it's time to take over. Offutt area traffic SIM 1018, approximately 5-mile final for runway 12.
One thousand.
Okay, here we go.
500. Approaching minimums.
Landing.
Minimums.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Glide slope. Glide slope.
50,
Pull
40,
up.
30, 20, 10. Check reverse. Out, off, reverse. Auto brake off. 60 knots.
Welcome to Offutt. Hope you enjoyed the flight. It was fun indeed. All right. Offutt area traffic SIM 1018, clear of runway 12 to the E4 parking. Which, by the way, is right there.
Flaps up.
Parking brake set.
Okay. All right, let's go see APU available. Looks like it. Okay, APU on. Okay, let's just
After landing checklist.
Brake pressure.
Check.
Body gear steering.
Arm.
Auto brakes.
Off.
Ignition.
Off.
Engine and wing anti-ice.
Off.
Radar and transponder.
Standby.
Flaps.
Up.
Spoilers.
Down.
Stabilizer trim.
7 units.
Outflow valves. Open. Pressurization mode selector. Let's see. Manual. Aft cargo heat. Off. APU. Check. Checklist completed.
well, I do realize one thing I forgot to do, and we'll tell you that here in a second. It's fine. We're fine right now. It's just something I should have done in the descent. Okay. Okay, brakes are parked, beacons, INS, probes off. Probe heat, probe heat.
Cabin crew, disarm slides.
Okay, align, align, and align.
All right, secure cockpit checklist.
Brakes.
Parked.
Beacon lights.
Hold on. Off.
INS.
Align.
Probe and window heat.
Off.
Pack valves. Check. Fuel boost pumps. Wait. Off. Reserve tank valves. Wait. Closed. Hydraulic panel. Wait. Check. Oxygen. Check. Flight recorder. Off.
Okay, now the rest of this is if you're terminating. Technically we are, but we'll just leave it as is. Okay, what did we forget? Okay, as we were coming down, we should have been dialing down our flight cabin. And I totally forgot about that. And it probably is because it's been a couple of months since I've flown this. But yeah, that should have been dialed down to 0. But it drained out also when you landed. All right, let's get the plane opened up.
Cockpit to ground. Put the chocks on.
Chocks are on.
Cockpit to ground. Connect ground power.
Ground power connected.
And if you want, you can deplane, and there they go, leaving. All right, so that was a pretty good flight for not having flown this plane in quite a while. So I kind of liked it. Now, I made a couple of other errors along the way. Mainly that I didn't start the ACARS program, but we're going to see if we can't file it manually. But yeah, it was a fun flight. A good thing is being on VATSIM, you know, your butt's always covered because you can always revert and say, look. So, not all the time, though. There are some instances where that will not work for you. Let's get outside and take a look. So there she is, the E4, for the most part. Again, if you did all the bells and whistles that come in the file to add this texture to it, you'd have a hump and an air refueling probe and several antennas. I think they're right in here. But anyway, to me, it's a great looking aircraft. I'm not going to change a thing. Hope you enjoyed. This was fun. Let me pull that down. Bring that up. And let's see how we did. Hang on, where the heck are we? Ah, here we are. All right, so let's go over here, find our flight. And again, see how the hump, that's not there. There's an air refuel probe, and all of these antennas back here are missing. To me, it's not a big deal. I know it would look cool to be able to say, look, but hey. So anyway, let's take a look at this flight. So we started over here at the Great Salt Lake, ended up here in Omaha. All right, and here's the airfield. Now, we landed just shy of the aiming points. I thought we were on top of them, but we were just shy. So that's 1,000 feet down the runway. I'm not arguing that at all. That's a great landing. It's on the center line, so that's even better. I don't know, did we have... it doesn't say who won. But anyway, looking at our information, 420 feet a minute at 129 knots, 1.3 Gs. You know, one thing I've noticed with Elevatech, the higher the landing rate, the lower the G-force. Don't get it. But we were right at VREF. So that was actually a really good landing. So I will chalk it up that way. All right, folks, that was a great flight for the 4th of July Eve flight. Again, tomorrow, 9 o'clock Central, or I should say for those, because, you know, we do have a lot of people on YouTube that do watch this. Saturday, if you would like to be a part of the live stream, just like today's, check us out, 9 o'clock Saturday, July 4th. And you know what? Here, let me help you out here in Twitch. And we'd love to have you aboard. Love to chit chat with you. We got a great flight planned. Look for it on Discord. And if you want to fly along, we'd love to have you. Just realize we're not flying Sim Air Force. So if you're a part of a virtual special ops group, we can't fly formation. So yeah, we'd love to have you aboard. Again, Saturday, July 4, 9 a.m. Central. If you're on YouTube, we'd love you to hit that subscribe button and like us. I'm sorry, correction, thumb up if you liked it. Twitch, if you're new to the channel And like we had several today, hey, we'd love for you to click that follow button. Join us so you know when the next live stream. You never know, other than Saturdays at 9 o'clock Central USA time, when we will go live. That's the only day I've got scheduled for a live stream. If work doesn't exhaust me pretty hard with the heat here of late, you never know. There might be some live streams, and there have been some this past week earlier. So follow, you'll be able to know when we go live. YouTubers, I understand time zones and all of that may make it impossible to join in, but today's, tomorrow's, usually all of our flights go up to YouTube. All right. So again, if you hit subscribe, thumbs up at YouTube, you'll know when the next video has been released. So for that, folks, thank you, Hawker, for the moderation, Desktop Pilot Society, for the raid. Zambian Sim Pilot for the follow. Inuasic 68. God bless you, sir. Love the resub and appreciate it so much. So you all enjoy the rest of your July 3rd. And it's a rare time that I'll actually say the date. But we look forward to seeing those of you here on Twitch tomorrow at 9 a.m. And if you're in YouTube and you're able, we'd really love to meet and greet you. Y'all enjoy. Have a great night. And I hope you all read the verse of the day, John 3:16-17. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believeth in him has eternal life. God didn't send his Son to condemn the world, but to save the world. So I hope the gospel message there. I know a lot of people think, oh, no way would I ever. I mean, there's too many hoops. Actually, folks, it's very simple. Believe and repent. Believe and turn away from your sins. I'm turned away from my sin. Folks, I am still a sinner. I will sin till my grave. Welcome to humanity. But with Jesus Christ in my heart and me turning, every time I recognize I sin, I work hard at trying to turn from my sins. Work will not get you to heaven. Jesus will. So, y'all enjoy. God bless you all. We'll see you on the ramp tomorrow, 9 a.m. God bless.